Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Today I just want to talk about 5 easy tips to get started on this raw vegan lifestyle. This isn't going to be rocket science. It's all going to be simple and it's all going to be what I consider practical little hacks on this lifestyle. And that's basically what it is. You know, there's an infinite number of recipe videos. It's not, you're never gonna learn enough recipe videos for that to make this lifestyle work. You're never gonna hear another version of the science of it or any of the long-winded explanations that are going to make it work. It's all about doing little practical things day to day to make it work within your world. And I threw one of these out in my group this morning, and I was ready. I was almost ready to do this video, but then I said, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this one today. One of the first ones that I propose is start your day big. Now, a lot of the times I'll have a breakfast that probably has anywhere from 800 to 1,000 calories in it. If not, it's usually split up, like I'll have a part A and a part B, just because it wasn't convenient to make it all at once, which I'm about to do now with my bananas and mamey sapote. But it's the quicker, I can't stress enough. I'm not saying you have to eat it in one meal and everybody's a different size and everybody is at a different place on this journey. Maybe your stomach's not big enough yet to be able to eat the fruit, to eat the amount of fruit that we need to eat on this lifestyle. So I'm not saying you have to sit down and just shove food into your body. Never do anything that makes you uncomfortable, but try to get started early. Get that big breakfast in, or at least, by noon. By noon, have 1,000 calories in your belly or more by noon. I usually have almost 2/3 of my calories in by the middle of the day, if not early afternoon. Which leads into the very next tip is staying ahead of your hunger. And not letting yourself get hungry. And when you start the day out like that with a super big breakfast, or you're having a couple of feedings in the morning, or you got a lot of calories in by noon, you're staying ahead of that hunger. And that is so important on this lifestyle, because once that hunger even remotely creeps in, it starts messing around in your head. So what I would say there is try not to get hungry. Now, yes, sometimes as you get further along in this lifestyle, you want to learn to come to listen to your body and depend on when your body's really hungry. But in the beginning, your body will mess with you, your head will mess with you, and as soon as you get hungry, your mind will start going to all those bad choices that you used to eat that you probably have recently eaten. If you're trying to get started on this lifestyle, if you're new to it. So stay ahead of that hunger. Don't get hungry. Fight it off as soon as and don't try to fight it off. As soon as you feel it, most people try to sit there and use discipline and say, okay, I'll fight it off, and I'll just wait until lunch, and then it winds them tighter like a rubber band, and then they just explode and eat something way worse than they ever would have. Simple little tip: drink plenty of water on this lifestyle, and then drink some more, because probably you're not used to drinking as much water as we really need to be drinking. I've played around with this whole water thing for the 5 years I've been on this lifestyle, and I still keep teaching myself and amazing myself when I'm regular with drinking the water, because a lot of times a lot of things mimic thirst. A lot of times you think you're hungry, and if you'll drink plenty of water, you're not really hungry. You were just thirsty. A lot of times you won't feel that well. If you'll drink water, you'll feel better. I've drank headaches away. So drink plenty of water on this lifestyle. And then 4 and 5 are pretty similar, but I kept them separate because the number 4 is find 4 or 5 salad dressings that you love. I don't mean that just that you can do or that are easy enough for you to make. Commit to learning how to make them and find 4 or 5 salad dressings that you really love. Because when you really like your food, you're not going to struggle with it. I mean, with my good salad dressings, I can sometimes go if I've got the ingredients for them. Like last night, I had my mango and red pepper dressing that I put just a little smoked paprika and a little bit of cayenne in. I can eat that dressing 4 or 5 nights in a row, and I have several dressings like that. So the salads are a big part, and that's where you can get those greens in. And the more you enjoy your dressing, the more greens you can get in. So, learn those salad dressings early on. And like I say, number 5 is very similar, but wanted to keep it separate because I would say find 4 or 5 savory, hearty recipes you like. I was talking about in my group also about, and I need to do a video. It's been so long that the quality's not good. I need to do my green soup video, but the green soup was big for me in the beginning. I made that like sometimes 4 or 5 nights a week, and it was very hearty and thick. And you can use it. I would sometimes use half an avocado, depending if I wanted a little less fat, but if I really wanted it savory, I would use the full avocado, but I made it really thick. And now I even know a few more tricks you can add to it. Something with mushrooms, that's very hearty. But finding those very, like almost a dinner replacement. Like I wanted to separate those because sometimes people just aren't satisfied with a salad. They need something that is, similar to what they used to have. So, learn those 4 or 5 savory dishes. And it'll make it a lot easier for you. And putting those both together, the reason I say find 4 or 5 dishes that you're really going to love is I see people sharing their stuff all the time, and I can even see in their descriptions they're not all that excited about it. They can put something together, but they're basically putting some slop together that's edible, that they can tolerate, but they're not, especially new to the lifestyle, you're not going to thrive like that. If you can just tolerate your food, you really need to be excited about what you're eating. You really need to enjoy what you're eating. Or otherwise this just becomes like being on a diet, like the Jenny Craig's and the Atkins diets and the Weight Watchers and all that. And that's not what, or that's not what I'm going for here. So anyhow, that's all it is on this lifestyle. It's like simple little hacks like that. And it's very individual, and I just throwing things out there. Try to solve the problem. Don't let the problem fester. There was somebody, and that like I say, that precipitated me into doing this video sooner. I was almost ready anyway, but somebody asked this morning in the group, and immediately they were having a little struggle with something. Boom, got back, a couple of people, including myself, got back to them with a response with something simple like this, just a simple hack. They tried it and it was done. So that's something else I've proposed too. Here's another little tip. I'll throw in a bonus tip on top of the 5, is maybe think about having a partner. A mentor, or you could have a mentor or somebody at your own level, but have somebody that you're accountable to, have somebody that you can go to when you are struggling. Like so many people just sit around inside their own mind and let it fester, and they try to fight off the craving, and everything just builds up and they explode like that pot on the stove, with the lid on there, when the lid just needed to be taken off a little bit. So that's another one that nobody's really taken advantage of, that I've mentioned a number of times, is find yourself a partner, or find yourself a group of partners, because maybe, one person can't be can't be responsible for you, or can't be available to you 24 hours a day. Maybe have a little circle of support, like have 4 or 5 people. And if you are having any sort of an issue, any sort of a problem, go to that little small group. It's not always so effective to do it in a group like a Facebook group setting, because you're just throwing it out and you're going to have to wade through a bunch of crazy answers and whatever. I see people a lot of times that are struggling, and they're members of a group that maybe have 20,000 plus people, and they just go put a general help me out there, like, oh, I'm struggling with this, and they get the crazy extremist out there giving them this like next, for I don't know what I want to call it, advice and whatever. And they have to wade through all this stuff, a lot of it contradictory. Get your 4 or 5 people that you feel comfortable with, that you trust, that are very supportive, and use those people as a crutch. And when you're feeling a little bit weak, lean on them. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button over there, and then click on the bell and send notifications. The subs are doing better again. I don't know if it's because I'm mentioning that, or if they've just worked out the little thing on YouTube, but happy to see more people come into the channel, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Peace.